The new Razer Hammerhead True Wireless Earbuds 2020 or 2nd Gen, a more affordable companion to the Razer Hammerhead True Wireless Pro THX earbuds that I already reviewed, there's a link for that in the description, and a follow-up to the previous Razer Hammerhead True Wireless earbuds, but with a new in-ear design compared to the old design where it just rests in your ear. So the question is, how good are the new Razer Hammerhead True Wireless earbuds compared to the Pros? And how good do they sound compared to earbuds like the Google Pixel Buds A series? Just a touch less expensive, and the Galaxy Buds Pro, which has the gaming mode, but if you have a Samsung phone. In this video, I'll answer that, but I'll also give some insight on the sound quality from my experience as a professional audio engineer, including my personal EQ settings so you can get the best sound possible out there. And with this crazy looking $2,100 microphone, you'll be able to hear the differences between each of them right from where you are, starting with the default EQ setting. Make sure to wear your headphones or earbuds to listen to this video, as each section of the video, as well as the middle of some sections, will have some sound samples that you can personally listen to. Also, thanks to Razer for sending this out to me for an honest review. They didn't pay for this, have no idea what I'm going to say, and are watching this for the first time like you. Of course, if you do decide to purchase these, please consider using the links in the description as I get a small affiliate commission from it. Okay, let's listen to the first sample. This track is filled with a lot. Listen for the sub-frequencies, the high end from the snare and hi-hat, and the mid-range from the synth. The new Razer Hammerhead True Wireless Earbuds 2021 or 2nd Gen come in at a list price of $130, a good $70 less than the Razer Hammerhead True Wireless Pros and the Galaxy Buds Pro, which come in at $200, and $30 more than the Google Pixel Buds A series. Now I need to clarify that I'm only going to include a sound test for the Galaxy Buds Pro and Pixel Buds A series for a few sound tests, since we're mostly looking to hear how they compare in regards to sound for these particular earbuds, rather than a point-by-point comparison. Now, it's important to note that the Galaxy Buds Pro are significantly more expensive than these, and while they do have a gaming mode, it only works on Samsung devices. The Pixel Buds A are being included because they are pretty dang close in price, but they do not have a gaming mode or active noise canceling. Let's listen to the next sample. We'll bring these two back once we get to the EQ settings. In this one, listen to the low end, the reverb from the vocals and the snare, the sharpness of the hi-hat, and the stereo spread from the wah-wah sound, and let us know in the comments what you notice. The thing that you'll notice first about the normal Hammerheads and the Hammerheads Pro is a glossy finish compared to the Pros. I personally like the matte finish of the Pros more and find that they're a bit easier to hold on to. These can get a little bit slippery, but at least it's IPX4 water resistant in case you drop them. They support AAC and SBC codecs and have a great Android fast pair option. You'll also see this little glowing RGB Razer logo here, which is pretty fun. We'll dive into this a little bit more in the video. They also use silicone ear tips that come in small, medium, and large compared to the Pros, which come with a ton of ear tips to fit your use case, fit, and preference, ranging from foam ear tips from Comply to silicone ear tips. Now, both of these feel pretty dang comfortable, but neither of these seem like they'll fall out if you shake your head around. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's try the Pros. There is a sense of a more secure fit with the foam ear tips. I don't know if that's actually true or just a perception. Now, what's really interesting is that the buds themselves on the normal ones are bigger than the buds on the Pro, along with a bigger case, which is quite interesting. That leads us to the battery, but let's listen to another song first. This is a fun one to listen to for stereo spread, as you hear there's notes moving from left to right and give you a sense of immersion. Now, both of these charge via a braided USB-C cable that's provided, but there's unfortunately no wireless charging on either. The new Razer Hammerheads have a 32.5-hour total battery life, with each charge lasting about 6.5 hours each. The Pros are 20 hours total, with each charge lasting about 4 hours. 32.5 hours on the new ones is pretty great, so I'm okay if the case is just a little bit bigger to achieve that. However, there are some caveats about the battery, which I'll just put here on the screen for you to pause and look at instead of reading all that off. That's a lot. So as you can see, a lot of that has to do with whether or not you using the active noise cancelling or RGB lighting. Let's listen to another song first before we check those out. This song is a very mid-rangey, warm, and soulful track. Listen to the vocals, the electric guitar lines, and keyboard. It's just so good. Active noise cancelling is an interesting thing in consumer audio now. We have extremely varying styles and levels of active noise cancelling. There's the best of the best that you can find with the Sony XM4s or the Apple AirPods Pro. They use both outward and inward facing microphones for their active noise cancelling. It kind of gives you a sense of that anechoic chamber where there's like no reflections. It feels like a really dead room. And then you have ANC that only reduces noises in specific frequencies. And then ANC that makes you feel like you're in a tunnel and seems to only be included to have another point on a spec sheet, but shouldn't have been included at all. For the normal Hammerheads, they have feed-forward ANC that intends on reducing common noises like hums and city noise, but they're the most unique execution that I've heard lately. First, I don't feel the pressure that you normally have with ANC, which I really appreciate. Second, the application or impact of ANC seems to be quite even and natural. It honestly really just feels like you're just turning down the volume on your phone a little bit, but on the world around you, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't have that artificial sound or feeling. And here's what it's going to sound like with this really loud air purifier. Just normal, without the earbuds in. Earbuds with active noise cancelling turned off. And here are the earbuds with active noise cancelling turned on. Now, I do wish that it was a little bit more pronounced, as it seems to be like turning your volume down by only 1.5 to 1 click rather than something a bit more dramatic like you'd have on the top tier options. Now, as you can probably notice, the bulk of the noise reduction is passive because you simply have something in your ears and it operates and sounds like a lot like what you'd find on the Hammerhead Pros. Honestly, if you hate the pressure that is so typical with ANC and you're okay with just having a light reduction, not a dramatic one, to the noise around you, this is a really good option. Now, there's one thing I do want to point out that it's really hard to capture on the microphone, but there is a little bit of that electronic hiss that's going on with the normal earbuds. Just kind of that standing like kind of sound. Oh wait, do you hear that? Yeah, that's me telling you that only about 5% of you watching are subscribed. That's crazy. Videos like these take me over 24 hours to make, so I'd love to get that to 10%, so please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to be notified of when I post a new video. For this track, listen to how clear the bass guitar is, as well as the electric guitar, and how bright the cymbals are.
Hey, hey, Marjorie.
Now, along with ANC, there's a transparency mode that seems to avoid that artificial robotic drive-through speaker sound that you hear from so many other earbuds. Let's listen to what that sounds like. And this is what the ambient audio sounds like on the normal Razer Hammerhead True Wireless earbuds. Here's how the Hammerhead Pros sound like with ambient mode on. It sounds mostly natural, but it also doesn't really amplify the sound around you very much like you'd find on other earbuds. It's a bit of a light touch and mostly natural sound approach that seems to be really consistent in terms of what Razer is going for with their earbuds. Okay, for this song, pay attention to the clarity of the attack on the acoustic guitar strings, but also how forward the mid-range is in the body of the guitar and vocals.
When the nights get cold, sometimes when I look over, I see you by a fire with your hands out in the open, and I wonder if you're clean on your own.
Now, as for the microphone, let's listen to how they sound while I share how you can help support the channel. Here's how the normal Hammerhead mics sound. If you'd like to help support me in making content like this and help pay for things like this $2,100 microphone, check out the link below to get a free stock up to $1,000 on Public, where you can see my thoughts and stocks and my trades. Other influencers and celebrities are on Public, like Sarah Dishi, Tony Hawk, Andrew Edwards, and myself. Plus, signing up and getting free stock is free money. If you're into crypto and want to earn interest in your crypto or even on your cash, you can sign up for a BlockFi account. I store my cash here in a stable coin and make 7.5% interest back on it. Way better than a normal bank. And if you sign up for BlockFi and deposit at least $100 worth of funds, you'll get $20 in Bitcoin. Who doesn't love free money? Links in the description. Here are the normal Hammerheads version 2 with the air purifier at full blast. Here are the Razer Hammerhead Pro with the air purifier on full blast. Here's what the Pixel Buds A sound like with the air purifier at full blast. Here's what the Galaxy Buds sound like with this air purifier on full blast. You could at least like the video and share it. I'd appreciate that. Anyways, what do you think about the microphone sound quality between all of them? Leave a comment below. Okay, for this one, listen to the low end and the high end from the snare, and especially the hi-hats to hear how bright and sharp the high end is. Now, along the top is a touch button surface for controls. It's pretty standard with options that vary depending on whether you interact with the left or right bud, but you can play and pause, skip forward or back, switch between modes, and even adjust the volume, which I wish was on every earbud. Anyways, you can adjust what these tap gestures do with the Razer Audio app, which I really like. Now, what is particularly unique about the Razer Hammerheads is a low latency gaming mode of 60 milliseconds or less. I found that this dramatically improves the latency when playing games like PUBG. I even tried it on my PC while playing Apex Legends, and it helped a lot, but I still noticed a tiny bit of latency. Obviously, you can't beat a dedicated gaming headset, but these would be really great for playing on your phone. So if you're a gamer, want the benefits of wireless, and don't want a dongle, these are pretty good. Along with a low latency gaming feature is the RGB. You have some really nice lights here with the touch surface, and with the Razer Chroma RGB app, you can adjust the RGB to different colors, whether it's a static color, breathes between two different colors, pulses with the audio that's playing, or does its own thing. It's a fun little nice touch, and it's pretty simple to use. Okay, this next track is from a personal friend, Hannah Parrott. Listen to how dynamic the track sounds, and if you can hear all the layers from the horns to the various strings and melodic percussion instruments. As for the sound quality, you'll probably notice that it's a bit dark and maybe a little bit full in the low mids to the mids. As a live sound engineer, I'm fairly particular about how things sound and notice a lot of specific frequencies that I adjust in any earbud or headphone. So I really love that Razer includes the option of not only choosing from various sound profiles, but also adjusting the EQ and some fairly common EQ frequencies. So let's check out some of the sound profiles using the normal Hammerhead 2nd Gen earbuds. And this song, we have some really killer bass on it. Pay attention to that, the synth, and the vocal reverb. Now, if you're into adjusting the EQ, this is where things get really exciting. This feature made me move from thinking the Hammerhead Pros are, just okay, to thinking that they sound way better than the AirPods Pro. So it was pretty clutch. Let's listen to the Hammerhead Pros with the default THX sound profile and then my own EQ, along with the normal Hammerheads with its default EQ and my custom EQ. The custom EQ on the normal Hammerheads cleans up a lot of the mid-range, tames a bit of that rumbly low mids and lows, and adds a bit of clarity to the high end. So listen to the great reverb going on the song. Listen to how forward the vocals sound, and if you can hear much of the percussive instruments in the background, or if they sound really buried. The bass guitar is also really awesome in this song. By the way, here are my EQ settings for the normal Razer Hammerheads. If you get the Razer Hammerheads, let me know what you think about this EQ in the comments. You can check out the Pros EQ in the card up in the corner. And if you feel inclined to send me a tip for the EQ settings or the review, you can use the thank feature on YouTube if that's showing up, or even send a tip over PayPal with a link in the description. It's always appreciated. Now for the big sound comparison. Let's compare how the normal Hammerheads stand up with the custom EQ, with the custom EQ on the Hammerheads Pro, the default EQ on the Galaxy Buds Pro, which sounds great, and the Pixel Buds A with the bass boost. Now here's something I really want to point out. The high end is quite limited, despite it having 10mm drivers and a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, which is a full human hearing range. It doesn't feel as full and immersive and like it's covering the entire frequency spectrum as I had hoped. I can't boost the high end much without it becoming a bit harsh to my ears, so it doesn't handle EQ boost as well as it handles EQ cuts, which is honestly how you should EQ anyways. You should cut first. So as a whole, I think the Razer Hammerhead Pros sound much better and handles EQ extremely well. It's also $70 more, so I hope it would sound better, but it also brings a lot of benefits along with that price. The Galaxy Buds Pro also sound great out of the case, but gaming features are really limited because it only works on Samsung phones and it costs $70 more. The Pixel Buds A series sound really great for the price, plus it has all those googly features that I love, but it doesn't really have any gaming features. Okay, let's do another sound comparison with all these. It's a classic string ballad to get those Frank Sinatra vibes. Pay attention to how full the strings are, the clarity of the piano, and the space in the mix made for the strings and vocals. So should you get the new Razer Hammerhead True Wireless earbuds? Well, as many of you know, I like to be nuanced and balanced in my reviews. It ultimately comes down to what you want and what you are looking for. So if you're looking for a gaming earbud, both of the Razer Hammerhead models are the obvious choice. So it comes down to your budget. If I were prioritizing low latency listening for gaming, then I would pick the Hammerhead Pros. But the normal Hammerheads are a good option if you need a more affordable option. If you want the best sound quality and overall features, and I don't care about gaming features, then I think the Galaxy Buds Pro are the route to go. It has a more exciting, bright, but not harsh sound profile with an energetic low end. If you're looking for something that's quite affordable, surprisingly well-rounded, and solidly tuned for sound, the Google Pixel Buds A are great. It also packs hearing health features to protect your ears like reducing the volume, great Google features, and good passive noise isolation. So it comes down to what you're looking for, valuing the most, and your budget. If you want to purchase any of them, there are links down below in the description. I always appreciate when you use those links. But what do you think? Are you planning on picking any of these up? What do you look for in earbuds? And what do you think about this immersive style of earbud reviews? Let me know in the comments. Let's check out one more song as we head out. This is a metal track that has some tight palm muted riffs that are locked in with a kick drum like a lot of metal. So listen to how punchy and tight it sounds. Thanks for watching. This is Tech Today. Until next time.